Now that I've turned 40, I've dropped a lot of the BS in my life. So I want to share the 5 things that I stopped doing now that I've hit the old 4-0 when it comes to weight loss and fitness. Number 1, I don't deny my cravings. So I've lost 130 pounds. I've kept it off for 9 years. This isn't my first rodeo. I've learned anytime I deny a craving, it backfires. The longer I put it off, the more of whatever I'm craving I'll eat when I break and eat it. So now I give myself the craving in 2 ways. 1, most of the time, a low-cal version, because I gain weight very easily and I have a very big appetite. So when I make a low calorie, high protein version that's just as tasty as the regular one, it satisfies my craving but also helps me feel fuller longer, which is one of the keys to my success. I have emotional eating, so when I get a craving, I choose the low cal most of the time. Then when I really want the real thing, I have to really check myself. I have to say, is this an emotional eating craving, or is this an actual, I want a chocolate bar and I want to have it now? And because I've done this for so long, I know that, okay, I'll have the chocolate bar and then I'll get right back on track. Number 2, I stopped overtraining, and that means weight training. After I lost my weight, I was left with loose skin. So I started to build muscle to help fill out some of the loose skin so that I could look a little more like not so flingy. But I started with like every single day. Then I went to 5 days. And then I started realizing like, I'm getting older and all that's happening is I'm injuring myself, I'm draining myself, I'm really tired, and it doesn't seem to really be benefiting me to train so much. So I went down to 3 times a week and I train 2 body parts per day. I do legs, then I do back and biceps, and then I do shoulders and triceps. And I do, just the basic moves. I do 2 sets, intense, lightweight, do it focused, squeeze the muscle I'm working, and I'm out. All I wanna do is I like the way that my shape looks with a little more muscle. It makes my loose skin, like I said, look not so flingy. And I like it, but I don't want it to take over my life and drain me anymore. Number 3, I don't force myself to work out, do cardio, or eat my regular diet when I'm sick. All through my weight loss journey, and even quite a few years after, I forced myself to do it when I was sick because I was scared of gaining the weight back. But the last few years, I've realized like all that does is if I'm sick and I force myself to eat stuff I don't feel like because, I'm nauseous or something, or I force myself to work out when I'm not feeling it, all it does, it drains me, it runs me down, and then it takes me even longer to recover from what I'm healing from, whatever, like cold, flu, whatever, or injury, or, and then it takes me double as long. So I'm not feeling good, I'm gonna rest, I do honor that. And then if I don't feel like eating my regular diet, I want soup and crackers, I'll let myself have it. I'll either just have it or build it into my calories, or I did portion control when I was losing weight. But I also understand that there's a certain point when I'm feeling crappy that if I don't get back on my regular diet and do my regular cardio, my body is not going to heal and be its most optimum. I feel the best when I'm eating my regular diet. It's been many years of trial and error to find this diet and the cardio that works for me. So eventually I'll go, okay, I might not be up to a full hour, but I'm gonna do just a walk or 20 minutes around the block or whatever, just to get moving. Because if you're 40, when you start getting old, if you don't move, you get real stiff. So I still have to move a bit, eat properly, eventually, so that I can get back on track, heal myself, and feel my most optimum. Number 4, I stopped doing things that don't give me an ROI, return on investment. Long meal preps, cooking, lifting heavy weights. I used to do everything the hard way. When Kyle and I first started, you can probably even go back and see some of our old videos because he's lost the same amount of weight as me, 130 pounds. And our meal preps were hours long. They were complicated and we did a lot of cooking. We love food, but we've learned that we don't really like cooking. It doesn't really get us anywhere. We're just tired after. And if things take too long and they're too complicated, we don't want to stick to it. So we've learned that we cook very quick, easy, simple meals if we are gonna cook, or we just choose no cook altogether. And our meal preps are 30 minutes or less, very, very short, because that's the way we operate. Also, I used to lift very heavy because, I thought that I could build more muscle that way. The problem with that is when I lift heavy, I can't lift with proper form. So all I'm doing is lifting with my entire body. I'm not actually growing any muscle because I'm not targeting the right body part. I can't do proper form. You can't do proper form, you can't connect with the muscle, you're not building anything. So now I lift, I call it light. It's moderate weight, whatever works for me, where I can do, 10 to 15 reps with really good form and actually feel it. And that's what I do now because that gives me, I keep my body the way I want. It's called working smart, not hard now. And number 5, this is a big one and it took me almost 40 years to learn this. I stopped comparing myself, my body, the way I eat, the way I train, the way I do cardio to other people around me and all over the internet. I spend so many years trying to be like, look like, eat like, train like everyone else. Now I realize how I got the results, how I keep the weight off is by working with the body I have. This body, it doesn't have great genetics. It gains weight very easily and it's always freaking hungry. So I have to learn to work with that. I started with 15 minutes of walking when at the beginning of my journey, and I built up to an hour over many years. And now I do an hour, 6 days a week, very low intensity walking. That works for my body because it allows me to eat a little bit more, but stay lean and keep the muscle that I have. Also, knowing that I'm hungry all the time, but I need to eat less to keep the weight off, I eat low-cal, high-volume with lots of protein because protein lowers your hunger hormone ghrelin. It helps you feel fuller longer. And I choose a lot of fiber and slow digesting carbs like whole grains and things. And that's how I work with my body and not compare myself to anyone else because, look at me. Ain't no one can look like or be like this thing. I don't even know what I am. I hope that this helps anybody struggling, no matter what age you are. The biggest thing that I've taken away from my entire journey, I struggled with emotional eating and weight most of my life, and then my weight loss journey, and then the keeping it off journey. The biggest thing that I learned is you should never make weight loss a punishment, and you really need to do the boring things, get rid of all the drama, all the overcomplications, all the removing food groups and your favorite foods and fad diets and quick fixes. There isn't anything out there that's a quick fix magic pill. Anything complicated, you're never gonna stick to. You gotta do the so-called boring, which is the basics. You need to eat in a calorie deficit. You can eat what you like. You can follow whatever, plan you like, but you need to be eating less in a calorie deficit. You need to move your body a little bit for the health, for the, sometimes you can eat a little more and do a little more cardio to be in a calorie deficit, whatever you want to do. You need to love what you're doing and you need to be consistent, not perfect, consistent. Every single day, I started with one small change, so did Kyle, but you gotta make it non-negotiable and you gotta do it day after day after day. And when you lose the weight and meet your goal, you gotta keep the weight off, so you have to do the same stuff day after day after day. And it don't sound pretty. It's not the spice of life, but it saved my life by doing that because I was morbidly obese and my weight was causing me serious health problems. So throw the drama out the window and do your basics. You have to love what you eat and you gotta do what works for you. Don't worry about what works for anyone else. Do you. Listen to you. Your body will tell you what you need and what you like to do and what you want. You already know it. You just gotta be quiet long enough to hear it and let it come from your core, your intuition. And this is what like Kyle and I do. We pick cherries. We watch everyone, we listen to everyone, but we don't copy it exactly. We take cherries, things that work for us, and then modify it for our needs. So whoever you like to watch, listen, but don't listen to everything. Pick the things that work for you and use it. There's lots of cherries out there, and Kyle and I find them every single day from multiple different sources. And the friends, like I said, I lost my weight with portion control. If you want to know the exact portions and meals that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link's down below, and code Nicole will save you 10%. Also, when it comes to protein, this is HTLT Subs, literally the best tasting protein powder ever. And I love maple cookie because it's really versatile. I love mixing half a scoop of this into half a cup of Greek yogurt. It makes the best low-cal, high-protein fruit dip. Super yummy, try it out. Code Nicole will save you 15%, and the link is down below for that. Gotta love it. Weight loss should never be a punishment. Watch this vid, because Sass and I are real friends losing weight in the real world. We're doing it where we love our food, we love the life, and we just love you. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next vid, cutie. Peace out. See ya. Bye. Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.